half enough, half shit and half shit. Guys, wake the fuck up. Bake your own bread or get your bread from the fucking bakery. This is not fucking food. Look at the fucking ingredients. Bread's supposed to have 4 ingredients in it. Water, salt, yeast, flour. This is fucking shit. Wake up.
These are the top 3 reasons I started milling my own flour and why I think you should too. Reason number 1 is that wheat is absurdly nutrient dense. There's a reason God created it and Jesus compared himself to it, and he wasn't talking about all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour is dead. People say it's the glyphosate, that's a little bit true. That's a little bit true. But the biggest reason is that fresh milled flour is super high in fiber, iron, magnesium, B vitamins. It's the most abundant food source of vitamin E. Let me just show you what I mean. This is fresh milled flour. Look at all the color variation in it. I'm trying to really zoom in, and do you see all the speckles in it? That is all of the bran and the germ, which is where all of the nutrients are. All of the nutrients are in the bran and germ, all of the little colorful bits, and they're spread throughout all of the flour. All-purpose flour ain't got none of that, none of it. They strip it all out to make it shelf stable, because if there's nothing living in the flour, it can't go rancid on the shelves. Reason number 2, it's storable. Look at this. These are my buckets. Look at my buckets of grain. See? Storable. Storable. So when the zombies come, I will at least be able to eat bread. Reason number 3 is that it's delicious, okay? Case in point, here's my tortilla. See how it folds. See how it's beautiful. See the colors, okay? There's no dough conditioners or anything like that. Honestly and truly, fresh milled flour is delicious. The cool thing is that flour actually has a flavor. So when you're baking with fresh milled flour, all of the flavor comes into your baking in ways that just all-purpose flour could never. The other cool thing is there's so much variety. So whenever you're doing your all-purpose flour baking, if you're baking cookies, all-purpose flour. If you're baking bread, all-purpose flour. Maybe bread flour if you're getting fancy. But the thing is once you transfer to fresh milled flour, there's like a bunch of different types of grain. So you get to experiment and you get to play. You could use spelt, you could use hard white, you could use soft white, you could use barley, you could use kamut, you can use einkorn, and they all have different flavors and they all have different baking profiles.
You may be wondering if store-bought whole wheat flour is the same as freshly milled flour. I'm going to answer that for you, but in order to understand the answer, you need to understand what exactly a wheat berry is. There are 3 layers to a wheat berry. That outer layer, which is the bran, then comes the endosperm, and then in the center there is something called the germ. In processing, the bran and germ are sifted out, leaving only the endosperm, which is what gives us white all-purpose flour. But for whole wheat, the bran and the germ are added back in. However, once the grains are ground, they start to oxidize and very quickly lose nutrients. The longer they sit, the less nutritional value the germ and bran have, and the more bitter the flour will taste. Freshly milled flour has all the nutrients because it's had no time to oxidize. It also has a richer, sweeter flavor. Here on the left, we have freshly milled flour, which is such a beautiful golden color, and on the right, we have store-bought whole wheat flour, which is much more white in color. This is because freshly milled flour contains more carotenoids. Carotenoids oxidize and diminish over time, which means they are not as present in bagged whole wheat flour from the store, causing a whiter appearance. If whole wheat flour from the store was all I had available and all I had access to, I would absolutely still use it. I do not believe it is a bad choice. I just personally believe the flavor and nutrition of freshly milled is unmatched.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. I want to give our praises and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, forgive me the spirit, to do this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to reset your diet with the principal things. Okay, it's time to reset your diet with the principal things. As you see, everything is getting worse, okay? Because part of the skirt being lifted, all right, is talking about in general, man, okay? How our food is being done, what we're eating, why you feel so tired, your flesh is whack. Okay, these bodies are whack anyway, right? But it's no excuse to not use wisdom. That's no excuse. Okay, that's like saying, okay, my body is whack, but I'm not going to use this herb because our bodies are whack anyway. No, that's a horrible excuse. Okay, the Lord called us to use wisdom in a general sense. All right. And one of the principal things, okay, in this lesson we're going to go into is flour of wheat. Okay. Period. Bread. Bread is a principal thing of man's life. Okay. Meaning what? It has a lot of nutrients and minerals in it. Okay. Meaning it's very, very crucial. All right. To your life. I just read it. Let's read it again. Sirach 39 verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. Okay, flour of wheat. Now, there's so much information in a general sense when you talk about food and changing this and changing that, but you need to do it in order. Start with the principal things. Then you can add things after the fact. Okay? And when you talk about bread, you have to talk about it right, because bread is a healthy thing. It's very nutritious. Okay, it aids to our health, our gut health, our health in general. Okay, now let's go into principle in the Google definition. It says first in order of importance, main. Right, first in order of importance, main. So when you talk about diet and resetting it, the main thing you have to think about, okay, is eating good bread. Okay, making it yourself. It's no excuse. We live in 2026. Okay, you can find out how to make bread. Okay, and make the raw whole wheat and mill it. Okay, because as you see in the videos before, it's storable, right? But when you skip that and you just go buy, you run into a lot of problems. When you can just buy the whole, okay, and get you a miller, there's different prices. Some are very high because they got like real stones in there to grind it, right? When you grind in the mill, so they're going to hike the price. Oh, there's real stones in here, so now it's $800. They're going to do that. Okay, they're going to do that. But there's different prices of a miller. That's how you think, because guess what? You're eating dead flour. That Edomite is correct. It's dead for their profits, for your bad health, so that what? You go right to the hospital for answers. Esau knows that bread, all right, is a principal thing. He knows that. Okay, we eat a lot of bread. People eat a lot of bread. So you wonder why people so sick, amongst other things, it's because they're not getting nutrition. They're not getting the right minerals from the principal thing, whole wheat of flour. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Now, you might say, well, that's talking about food in general. Yeah, but bread is bread first. Okay, let's not get simple. Bread is bread first. Then you use it in a broad term as food in general. Okay, remember the principal thing you're thinking about here. Now let's go into a couple things that's in the bread on average that we buy at the store, man. Okay, in case you don't know. The first word is glyphosate. It said a widely used non-selective systematic herbicide and crop desiccant, most commonly known as the active ingredient in Roundup. Right, a weed killer, a very popular weed killer. Okay, it's the active ingredient. Okay, commonly known as the active ingredient, Roundup. It works by blocking a plant's enzymes, essentially for plant growth. Think about that. Okay, it's killing life. All right, if it's going to stop the essentials of plant growth, what is it doing to your body when you put it in your body? Okay, when we're supposed to live off the earth. Think about that. So you put it in your body. So you eating a sandwich, you eating a burger with the bread, thinking you're doing something because you got a couple vegetables on the side or in the meat. Okay, and to you got a good burger. No, you don't. Use wisdom. Okay, Esau has attacked the principal thing on purpose. Okay, the devil by design. All right. So it says essential for plant growth. It is used extensively in agriculture, forestry, and home gardening for weed control. Boy. Okay, think about that, man. Weed killer. You're eating weed killer, and it's a lot of it in it. Okay, the next one is calcium propionate. It says a widely used antifungal preservative in commercial bread that extends shelf life by inhibiting mold and bacterial growth. Think about that. It inhibits it. Something that's supposed to do that naturally. Yahweh Shai didn't make a mistake. It's supposed to break down naturally. Okay, you're eating dead flour. Dead flour. But they want that shelf life for business, for profit. Commercial bread that extends shelf life by inhibiting mold and bacterial growth. Right. Okay, something that happens naturally. Yahweh Shai didn't make a mistake. Okay, it's supposed to break down. You're eating dead flour, man. You understand? Okay, so think about when you're eating that. All right, they didn't make a mistake on the body. The body's very smart. Okay, what the Lord created. So they know when something foreign is coming in that ain't supposed to be there. They know that. Okay, so when the body is built to break down something naturally, but you put something in your body, okay, that they put something in to stop it from breaking down, that's where you get a problem where it's like, what the hell is this I'm supposed to break down? What is this? What's going on? Why is it fighting against my breakdown? You see, so it's poison in your body. You get bloated, all jacked up. You get sick, all kinds of cancers. That's why America's #1 in cancer. Okay? It says, boy. Let's go to another one. Let's go to potassium bromate. It says, is a powerful oxidizing agent widely used as a flour improver. Why do I need to improve flour that's natural? They trying to do it for profits because they're stripping. See, when you strip from it, then they trying to add to it to trying to balance it. No, man, it's destroyed. It's defiled. Okay? It says, and dough conditioner in baking to increase loaf volume. Now let's make it bigger. Now, why would they want this to increase loaf volume? For profits. They don't care about your health whatsoever. Okay, it says elasticity and produce a wider crumb. It is classified as a possible human carcinogen. It is poisonous. Okay, by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. It is banned in many countries, though still used in some regions like the U.S. Boy. You are being poisoned for real at a very, very, very high level. Okay, but the bodies are so strong, it takes time, okay, for it to get you full where it's no return. You just die somewhere, okay, from a sickness, from cancer, etc., etc. All right, now let's go into the key aspects of potassium bromate. It says health risk. It is classified as a potential carcinogen with studies linking it to kidney, thyroid, very important body parts for survival, for your health, and other tumors in experimental animals. Okay, residual amounts may remain if the product is underbaked or if excessive amounts are used. So that means you're still eating it. So you're being poisoned. Yeah, you wonder why that headache came, that migraine, or that stomach ache. Yeah, you thought you were eating healthy. We got to use wisdom. We got to understand where we are at. We got to understand this is the devil. He ain't playing, man. Okay. It says regulations. It says it is banned for food use in the EU, Canada, China, Brazil, and other countries. Why would they ban this? Because it's killing the people and they know it. Boy. It says while the FDA has not officially banned it in the U.S., as it was in use before 1958, the agency has advised against its use and requires proper labeling. You see that? So that's what you eat mainly when you're eating bread. When you go to fast food and you get a burger or you go to a restaurant, you eating the same bread. It's defiled. Okay, starting with the principal thing, the flour of wheat. Okay, this is to reset it. You got to reset it, man. All right, let me say this. When you go, you most definitely stay away from the bleached flour, okay? And you look for whole wheat flour the best you can. if you can't mill it yourself. Okay, but you need to be in the mind frame of getting a miller to mill it yourself. You can't beat that. Okay, like you see in the videos, man, they breaking it down for you. That's why, I put those things together, okay, for you to see. So there you go, man. Horrible, man. All right. Now, when you mill it yourself, you bypass all of that. Do you see? You bypass it all. Do you say, well, wait a minute. Well, what if, because you can go in all day on different angles. You're like, what if, the whole wheat you get it from, what if they're spraying stuff? Look, man, you only can do your best, okay, to eliminate. Okay, this is about elimination, okay, and resetting the diet, man. Resetting it, okay? Let's go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 11. It says, give us this day our daily bread. Okay, you know what that's from, the prayer, right? Give us this day our daily bread, right? Daily bread, starting with the principal thing, actual bread. Okay, then you will make it broad in general food. Okay, but like I said, you want to stick with the principal thing, don't you? Okay, think about it. If it's the principal thing, that means that it aids to our life. It keeps us alive. Okay, it's not empty calories. It's not empty food. Okay, but you got to get away from Esau and how he set it up and programmed us to go to the store and buy bread nonstop and think we're doing something. He's already screwed it up. Okay, and he's hoping that you don't understand it. He's hoping you don't get it. That's what he's hoping. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 5. Let's start at verse 7. And it came to pass when Hiram heard the words of Solomon that he rejoiced greatly and said, blessed be the Lord this day, which hath given unto David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar and concerning timber of fir. Right, because Solomon was building up the kingdom. Okay, he was building up his kingdom at that time. Okay, and there were certain things that Hiram had, okay, that Solomon wanted to help build his kingdom up. All right, verse 9. My servant shall bring them down from Lebanon unto the sea, and I will convey them by sea in floats unto the place that thou shalt appoint me, and will cause them to be discharged there, and thou shalt receive them, and thou shalt accomplish my desire. You hear that? And giving food for my household. So now he's like, look, I will do this for you. We need food. Let's see what Solomon gave him. Okay. Verse 10, it says, so Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees according to all his desire. Point in verse 11. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household. Now Solomon, being the wisest man, why would he give him that for food? He said he want food to eat. Why would that be the main thing he give him? Oh, because it's the principal thing to man's life. Do you see that's what we need to reset? The principal things first, and you only get that from the scriptures. You don't get that from watching different videos, right? You can get different knowledge and understanding and, information, but you have to connect it to the scriptures to really for it to hit home, okay, to understand it. Verse 11 again, and Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household, and 20 measures of pure oil. Okay, oil was on that list too of the principal things. Thus gave Solomon to Hiram year by year. So he gave him year by year, what? A whole bunch of wheat, a lot. And when you go into how much that is today, I looked it up. It says, based on the historical context of 1 Kings 5 and 11, 20,000 measures refers to 20,000 cores of wheat, which is a massive quantity, roughly equivalent to 12,960,000 pounds or over 6,400 tons of wheat. You see that? That's a lot. It says for a typical household, this amount would last a single year, average size house, 4 to 5 people for several lifetimes, potentially thousands of years. And it goes on and goes on and goes on. Okay, so you get the point. And I'm going to end it on this, on Numbers chapter 18. I'm not going to read the chapter, okay, and go into the offering. But I want to make a quick point. Let's go Numbers chapter 18. Let's start at verse 11. I'll read 12. And this is thine, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel. I have given them unto thee, and to thy sons, and to thy daughters with thee, by a statute forever. Every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, right, which is one of the principal things, and all the best of the wine, the grapes, one of the principal things, and of the wheat, one of the principal things. You see that? The first fruits of them, which they shall offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee. Okay, so if you want to look into the chapter, you can and go, into what the heave offering is, et cetera, et cetera. But the point I'm going into is that it goes right back into the principal things when you go into different offerings and different things to the Lord. Okay, so if it wasn't nutritious, if it wasn't a main thing, why would it be an offering to the Lord? There you go. Okay, so just a quick point. So with that, I want to give our praises and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to your Akamai that is doing the truth in all sincerity. Shalom.